Don't know why I didn't see it before. I should have seen it before. The NX 3000D, whereas the NX 3000s, the D only. Sorry, zoom in. The D only references to the DSP digital DSP that's got DSP processing on it as such, whereas the other versions don't have that. Okay. So let's put a sine wave up. Just change the crossover on the DCX. The DCX only acts kind of like the AVR, you know, with its bass, that roll off sort of thing. Where, because I'm using the output full range on the DCX now, because it only passes through to the THX. So I can still put a, you know, a filter on. You can hear it, hear the sound. To put it full range, or I can put the other filter on at the other range and just turn off the high range. Makes that sound, doesn't it? Kind of sounds a bit like the Jean-Michel Oxygen. And it's kind of using some sort of synthesizer thing back then and kind of oscillating it. Makes that kind of whoosh. Do 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 do. Anyway, so I didn't know why I didn't see it earlier, but you know, there's the input level, and what I noticed recently is, like, why is the bass, it sounds like it's distorting, the signal's distorting. And of course I turn on, you know, turn it on. I don't usually have it turned on. It's only there to program it, so you got it on the big screen visualized. Otherwise you could do it sat in front of the amplifier and looking at the very small screen. And there's the filters that are put in on the PEQ and a crossover filter slope, specifically for this test. That's okay so far. And of course, I changed the gain level, so I've raised the gain level because I'm looking at input versus output, and the input level was getting so high to the top it was clipping, so it was making a kind of distorting sound. That is still crossover frequency going through the THX sound system, so you know, the crossover card is crossing over the frequency division. I think it's 500 hertz, 36, about something like 36 or something dB down or something. It's a very ridiculous steep, and all I've done is added an extra filter, crossover filter, on the amplifier for the bass cabs, the string channel. All I've added is an additional, you know, and then because I can listen to the sine wave tone, I can hear the sine wave tones, and also on the DCX, I just simply to put a few filters in roughly for the HF horn, because I'm looking at the characteristic of the frequency response and seeing, you know, the shape of it and thinking, okay, I want a little bit more down in the lower range on the for the HF horns, because they can handle it, they can take it, and therefore I could get a little bit more low frequencies in the bass. But so far this arrangement is applicable only for my THX cinema. It seems to work pretty well. It's better than last, in fact it's better than before. So it's kind of trial and error. This is just for center channel, because I've got to unplug the USB lead and then move it into the other amplifier. You can have multi leads, but you got to go into the I think it's the setup here and then configure. So I could have multi. I think theoretically you could have multi of these opened, because you expect multi amplifiers, because I think down here I think this is what it is, the data thing. I think that might be what it is. I've never used it, but I'm guessing that's what it is. And then you got to put a number in or something for the amplifier. So up to about 20 amplifiers. That's quite a lot. I'm guessing that's what that's for. But I just moved the lead around. Of course, the PEQ filters. So I listened to the tone and that, and going through the bass up to where the HF horn is, roughly, where I want it to start sounding, which is a little bit below 400 Hz. And it does okay. But I've got to put a filter in additionally to sort of make so you don't get too much of it being, say, like too harsh, whereas the rest of the frequencies are down here, and you got all the harsh range above 1000 kilohertz going up to, and then it rolls off, and then I'll make an adjustment so I can hear the high frequencies as well. Of course, there's a high frequency boost on the THX sound system that gives a high frequency boost as well. But that seems to work, that arrangement. Not getting much clipping or distortion, and providing I keep the levels, put some pink noise, providing I keep the output level here, as long as I don't go anywhere near to, say, close to 0 dB. I don't need to go that far, and in the case that far is bloody loud. Bloody loud, and for a small room, way too much. So I don't need to go that far, etc. So just enter the exit the pink noise.
You green-blooded inhuman. Bridge to Admiral Kirk. Admiral, sensors indicate a vessel.
So that's only the bass channel it's looking at there, not the high frequency. You see,
it's reliant.
You can see there a little bit on the dialogue passage.
Bridge to Admiral Kirk. Admiral, sensors indicate a vessel.
It's getting a little bit too near clipping.
What do you make of her?
It's one of ours, Admiral. It's reliant.
Reliant.
And
Admiral, sensors indicate
looking at the output level here on the DCX.
What do you make of her?
It's one of ours, Admiral. It's reliant.
Reliant.
Try the emergency check.
So that's full range. That's only full range going out.
picture, Mr. Southey.
And because also going through the THX sound system, which is a preamplifier as well, so it's putting a lot of signal boosting. Realistically, that level should be a little bit more lower down. It should be a little bit less than what it is. And then, of course, I've only got about 7 dB on the gain here, so I could turn that up a little bit more, and I could do a little bit more as well by putting in if I felt I want to put in, but I don't need to because I've already put some filters in on low pass, so I've put an elevation in on the low frequency. Oh, I was on computer. I was just changing the AVR setting. It throws me off. It does. It really does. Okay. Sine wave. It's okay. And that's my JBL screen channels. They're doing okay down below 40 hertz. They're doing 25 hertz there. That's not too bad. Probably reach 20 past light speed. Few special modifications myself. I can still hear the tone in the room, the pressure of the frequency. I can feel a kind of pressure in the room, and that's without the bass shaker. That's not too bad. That's not too bad there. Whereas before it was kind of really nosediving sort of thing. And I was thinking, no, what's going on there, you know? So yeah, just went into the DSP a little bit more, and then realised, yeah, it's getting too near to bloody clipping, or soft clipping, and then you're going to notice kind of crackle sound, but it does need to be a little bit lower. I need to nudge that down a little bit and then just take the low. But I got a third NX coming, so it go in for my left center, right center, because I'm only using a 3000. So that'll probably be tomorrow or the day after, whatever. I don't really care. And so I'll just put in the same parameters settings, even though they should be slightly individually adjusted, slightly. But I kind of follow that sort of curve, whatever. I mostly randomly just put it in and just sort of looked at the direct frequency response going into the through the THX to the Room EQ Wizard on here, over here, and looking at the frequency response. So it should be connected to the computer. There we go. And it looks like that. Should be a little bit different, of course, but it looks like that. So I could probably change it a little bit, you know. I'll probably change it a little bit, and how it appears there and so forth is also depending on the trim levels on the bass and the treble on the THX. Whereas if I adjust them, I can bring up the high frequency or the treble end a little bit more higher. So you really have to get them kind of looking the same level. But yeah, it takes a little bit of effort. Do certain things and get a nice tone that fits the room and not too boomy, harsh, but sounding cinematic. And yeah, listening last night a few movies on streaming, Prime, the I don't know, a few movies, doors closing on cars and such. That sounded like a door closing on a car. Had that kind of oomph energy sort of to it. You know, some say that when a door closes on a car, it's like 130 dB. Yeah, how do they know it's 130 dB? Bullshit. It's not 130 dB. Get an SPL meter and you prove otherwise. Yeah, it's 130 dB. I don't think so. It's probably a lot less than 130, but you get a certain sound pressure. And so, but I listened and I can see a movie that's not science fiction and it's in the real world more or less, but it was a load of baloney. Some bloody movie with starring Tom Cruise, some day night thing it was called, like special agent sort of thing. A load of bloody nonsense. But I was listening to the doors closing on cars and machine guns being fired that sounded like jackhammers going off like bloody boom 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 boom. Like, do they make that sound? Really? Like a jackhammer? I would have thought being, this, probably know the scene in the movie where this girl, she's got machine guns in her hand and she accidentally got trigger finger happy and sets them off and they're going like da 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 da, da like bloody jackhammer. And the thing I find also stupid with it is that it's in a warehouse, or so to speak. It will be deafening. It will be bloody deafening. And it's not like she doesn't go in and kind of does that with her fingers, and because it's all play acting. It's not really, they probably got earplugs in their ears when they're doing the performance and that. But realistically, you'd be doing that after your ears would be, because machine gun sounds, they're very sharp pulse and they are extremely bloody loud. You'd have hearing issues after that. The movie was a load of nonsense. But it was okay. It's okay. Watch it once, but that's not the movie I would buy. And movies, buy. I mean, I'm sick. I'm kind of thinking. Well, I'm getting a bit sick and tired of all these bloody discs. That sometimes I need to tidy the back up here. I need to tidy that up. I'm sick and tired of it. Fucking. I don't buy many movies on small disc now. Last movie I brought on a small disc was a couple of months ago, I think. A couple of months ago. When was the last Laserdisc I bought? But Laserdiscs, I don't do that. They go back on the shelf, and I've only got a couple of shelves that are full of Laserdiscs. I was going to fill the whole lot, but I ended up utilising it for equipment storing, storing and so forth, and Laserdisc collection's gone slow. But I only get really good selected titles, not just randomly just buying it. I just get some really good mainstream selected titles, that have theatrical mixes, none of this bloody BS, bloody near field mixing crap. Most of it might be near field, most of it might be theatrical. Some of it's tampered with. If it's tampered with and I can tell that the low frequency is like, where the bloody hell's the low frequency gone? They filtered it off. So that disc is pretty worthless, throw it away. And you might as well just go with the DVD. And that's more like lossless audio, rather than lossy or whatever. Huh? What? Yeah, they say lossy audio, lossless audio, what the fuck? If you can see that it's been tampered with, it's been tampered with, and it's throw it away. And then just go with you know, you'd have to grim and bear the DVD, I guess. It's a lot better than the bloody 4K. Anyway, otherwise, what's the point of putting all this bass in all that, only to get a bloody garbage in, garbage out? But what I was listening to last night, I thought, damn, you know. And also, I can make adjustments. If I thought the bass was too much and so forth for the movie or the playback, I could just go on the DCX onto the click. Can't see it here. I've got to zoom in. I'll zoom in. And it's very difficult because of the display. It's very difficult to get the camera. I'll try again. Okay, let's try this. Get out of the seat. It's all about the angle. Let's see. Adjust the brightness contrast on the camera if I can. I can't really adjust the contrast. Maybe if I go in closer, might work it out. No, because I've got the contrast set to a certain level. Because I'm back here. And I've got to look at it at an angle. Maybe if I put the camera at an angle, that might work. There we go. It's almost better there. Okay, so if I go into the DCX and turn that on, and I've got a frequency curve. So if I want to roll the bass off a little bit, I can roll it off. It'll still be there. But then now I can turn it, put it back to there, or I can put it there, whatever. Which is a lot more, that can do a lot more than that bloody ADR. Certainly it can do a lot more than a Trinov. A Trinov? What can that do now? Anyway, so if I want to roll it off a little bit, I can roll it off a little bit. Wouldn't mind if I had a power switch. I was thinking of making a modification to this DTS because there's plenty of space, whether it be down. I don't think I want to do it down this end. Maybe this end. There's plenty of room there, providing what's behind the panel, because I have to take it out of the rack, look what's behind it, you know, and see if there's a circuit board in the way or anything. But if there was somewhere where I could fit a switch, a simple switch like these, on and off switch, yeah, one of these, I would make a modification and fit it there, because the actual switch is at the back and it's a little bit awkward to reach it. I'd have to keep pulling this rack out and getting behind and switching it off, and then otherwise I'm really not using the DTS at the moment. I've got yeah, so it'd be okay if I just put an additional switch, so I can just turn it on and off there. They should. I don't know why they put those switches on the back. I just can't figure that. I think it's the same with no, the CP750. No, that doesn't have a switch on the back. Funny, it doesn't have a power switch on it. That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, you just plug it in, and then when you turn it on, it's a dark screen at first, and then it wakes up and turns on. But I think that's probably by far the stupidest bloody Dolby CP processor I think ever made. The CP650, I think it's got a power switch on it. All the other CP processors, 500, 200, all through 65, 55s and such, you can open the panel and you've got a power switch. Power PSU is down there for the CP200, below the 500. Yeah, but that's just so bloody weird. It's like, I think some behringer equipment, I think this one here, Is it the CQ? Yeah, the CQ here. It's got a power switch at the back. And this audio mixer here. 2 power switches. I don't know why they didn't fit them on the front, because when you got that fitted in the rack, how the heck are you supposed to switch that thing on and off? Oh, I don't